Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding and chill. I'm your host Johnny and I hope you're having a lovely Friday. I hope your week has been amazing and I hope you're ready for some SvelteKit, JavaScript, TypeScript, Stripe action, app building action, web development action. It's gonna be great today. On the last streams we've been hard at work building our subscription membership site that reflects what you could do at Patreon as a single page there. But you don't need to give Patreon a cut, you do it yourself. And what we did specifically in the last stream was create this card component. We just have the one product and the user is able to subscribe to us, pay 10 euros per month. When they go through the flow, they get this lovely thank you message. There are more things that we have to do to make this valuable, but this is a way to launch your product fast, and then you can see in the Stripe dashboard that someone has signed up, and then you ship the product to them, or you provide the service that you're saying you'll provide, and get it out the door. See if there is any interest, validate your product proposition, and that sort of thing without doing all the code. We've already done hours and hours of coding in these live streams, and we've gotten to a decent point, but there is still more to do. But this is potentially a point where we could be going live if we're willing to wrangle Stripe dashboard a little bit and do some customer support, customer success, but we'll manage to automate everything. So a user is now a customer. They've bought the product. What if they want to update their billing details? What if they want to cancel? In that case, they have to email you and they have to contact you and have to do whatever it is. And then you take care of it on the Stripe side, on the Stripe dashboard, or you can create a secure link with Stripe to get them to the checkout portal, and then you message them, you email them with that link, and then they go to the customer portal and they click around, they cancel their subscription, they do whatever they want. But the more professional way to do it is if on your site you have a button they can click. It says manage my subscription, update my details, or something like that, and they automatically go to their own unique private Stripe customer portal where they can update their details. That's what we're going to do today. Stripe is classifying it as low code, and it's very similar to what we've done in the previous stream, because if you remember, this subscribe action works the same. User clicks the subscribe button, our backend creates a Stripe checkout link, and then they go to the Stripe environment where they are buying the product that we offer. We can actually see it. So now we are in the Stripe domain, but we are buying something specific to our site. We're buying something specific for Johnify. It says which product it is. It is using the picture that we've uploaded. And a cool thing is that Stripe does have the logic to say that, oh, the moment you put in your email, you've actually bought the subscription, so don't buy it again. You're sorted. Don't worry. Similarly, I'm sure that the Stripe team has created all sorts of edge cases and gotchas to make the user experience amazing. Stripe is like $1 billion company, and you are one engineer, maybe a team of engineers, even 30 engineers. It's not that much at that level. Stripe has been operating at $1 billion valuation level for many years, maybe a decade at this point. So they've thought of a lot of edge cases. So get the user to their solutions and you'll probably have a happy user. So instead of clicking subscribe to buy, they'll be clicking another button for them to manage their details. Let's see how we're going to do that. I think we've talked enough. We talked about what we're doing today. We talked about using the customer management solution from Stripe. It's time to, I guess, have some UI fun, as we usually start here, and create that button, that manage my details button, for the user to click. So if you are logged in, you have this bare bones profile page. We'll level it up shortly. In this stream, we'll add a button for sure, but at some point we want many things to be in your unique profile page. But just to solve that flow that we've created in previous episodes as well, if you're not logged in, you can log in or sign up. You can create a new account if you want, or you can log in to an existing account. This specific account is not using the GitHub provider. It's an old school email and password login. Very insecure. You can probably guess my password as well. But then you're logged in. Keep in touch. Subscribe for a video on how we're doing these cool app-like transitions. In any case, this is the page that we want to touch. So let's move on to the code. So it's the profile page that we want to mess around with, which is this. We say profile, we say you're logged in as this, just to prove that everything works. Hello, we're here. And what we want, maybe we want the profile page to be able to tell if the user is actually in a subscription plan. That's an interesting thing to do. So we can load some data there. But in the end, we'll really just have another button that will say manage your billing details or cancel. Like the world's biggest button, this is going to be. But we only want to show this if the user actually has a subscription with us. If they don't, we don't want to say manage your billing details because we don't have their billing details. So how do we do that? We are using webhooks to map a lot of the user information into our own Postgres database. So Stripe is firing off some webhooks, some events to our endpoints, and those endpoints write some data to our Postgres database that Supabase has created for us. So we know we have this product, and I guess this user has this active subscription. So that's probably what we want to understand. If the status is active. So interestingly, we know the price they're on, and then we have to do a bit of dumping around, because we can see that this user has this subscription on this price, which is for this product. So you need to go through a few hoops to actually find out the product there. But let's do it. Let's check out Supabase user session object to see what do they have there. I guess they don't have anything from the user table. Metadata. Yeah, we don't want to sync that metadata. So probably we want to go to our page.server.ts for the profile page. If they're not logged in, we direct them to log in. We've done that in a previous stream. And here, I guess we want to check if the user, not is an admin GitHub Copilot suggestion, check if the user is subscribed, has a subscription. So let me set my noodle timer for 25 minutes, which allows me to focus a bit more. Hopefully it will work this time. And in here, in the locals, we've put the Supabase client. So we can await Supabase from the users. Match ID, session user ID. Match is how it's actually called. And select first. So what do we want to select? Let's look at the tables again. So from the users, we want to find subscription active. This should be the name of the table, so it should be plural because we've put it as plural. This gets me in the past. And we also want, let's just do that for now. And then console log the data. This should be a single row, so single is what we need. So this should be the user table, and we should only be getting the subscription. Let's see, maybe it will have many. User data null. Interesting. I imagine that the session user ID is something. So let's check that. There is a user ID, and it's this. So this is different. It's this one, it's probably this one. Nine to 3, blah blah blah. Okay, so this guy, this subscription, what is it supposed to be? We tied it into a different user. Okay, fair enough. So I think this is gonna reflect the subscription. Let's we cannot log in the other way. So can I actually mess with the tables here? I guess I bought this subscription with the wrong user, because we had a problem creating this customer entry, and I must have pasted the wrong one. We actually want this one. Let's copy this content and paste it here. So now the user we're currently logged in is still has nothing. The subscription here still has the wrong user ID. So edit this row, should be this. Save. So at this point we should be getting something, or else we're doing something horribly wrong. So the user with this email has the subscription, but we cannot manage to map things out. This user, this subscription, it is active. User ID reflects this guy, it's this user. Is it because I'm doing single? Could be. Why are we fetching nothing? Is it that our users table doesn't have RLS? Can view own user data. Auth UID equals ID. That looks correct. Am I hitting the wrong table? Session user ID is something. So this thing does no matches and it just magically works. It doesn't work for me. I do imagine it's an RLS problem. Let's see. Of course. So I don't actually need to use the session. It will fetch the user data, but I guess there is no RLS policy for the subscriptions table. Cool. So it should be can view its own data. And the auth UID equals the user ID. Sure. So they should be able to see this. But for some reason, maybe just go straight to the subscriptions table. Let's see if we can get everything here. Status. Alright, so if we do it that way, it works. I wonder why. What was I doing before? I think I just had the wrong column name. Maybe not. Let's look at join tables again. Well, we have done it before. I like doing it like this. But the moment I switch to that, it doesn't give me any data from the other table. And it has to be a problem with the RLS policy, surely. The auth ID is user ID. You should be able to see this. RLS problem. In short, yes. All right, so maybe now it's looking for the different tables ID. It's kind of silly. It has to be a problem with the RLS, I'll say again. Maybe we can use a different method to fetch the subscription data then. I think this makes it also check that in the other table the user ID is valid, but we don't get that far. Well, for now, we can just look at the subscriptions table and just fetch the status. if they do have an active status, then we can think that they have an active subscription. So from data, some blah, blah, blah. If at least one is active, then this user has an active subscription. Let's just ignore there. And now in the UI, only if they have an active subscription. So this auto-complete did that quite a lot. We don't offer any different subscription plans, so it's fine to do it in the way we are doing it for now. We know that the only membership is the support plan membership. And I guess that's all we're going to do for the UI. Have this be the if they have an account section, then they can have another section for logging out. For example, if the subscription status somehow was inactive, can I not edit this? So if this was incomplete expired, for example, then our UI wouldn't be showing this. But we may want to handle that case specifically. We'd probably want to say, your subscription has run out, or you need to update your details, click here. So maybe we do want a single row here. here we can say if subscription status let's not do this. If it's active subscription, then so this. This allows us to in the future do other cases like upsell them. Like if there is no data subscription status, we can say please consider subscribing, and then you get them to the subscriber page or something like that. But we'll see that in the future. Let's keep the eye on the ball. Today we want to do this, the customer portal stuff. So we have the bare bones UI. All we need, maybe we want the same classes for this simple button, this understated button. Maybe we can have them here. For consistency. So these two classes. Wow, the rain is proper coming down here in Barcelona. I haven't seen rain here that strong for 6 months. I was away on vacation, of course. And honeymoon. All right, so they click this button and something happens. This is the big stuff. First, we need a server endpoint for this button to hit through a form and to create our secure customer portal session. Let's see how to do that. Common mistake. Not using the server connect. So we want to do this form action really. And on the backend, we want to do a billing portal session. And this should be the custom ID, which we should be able to find out somehow. Sure. And return URL, I guess it depends on what they've done. We can get them to the profile and then maybe they have a different subscription status, so we show them a different message. Or we can have a query param. Not quite sure. What they do there may cause some webhooks to fire. This makes sense. So let's slowly do it. For the main page, so for this, let's see what we did. It's in the plans. We have a post form that doesn't have an action because it's hitting the default action of the page. But for this one, maybe it makes sense to name it something else, because we'll want to add stuff like update user name or first name, last name, that sort of thing. Update avatar, we'll be doing that stuff in the future. Let me know if you want to see stuff like that, avatar updates. But the way we've achieved it on the main route is we export an actions object which has a default action which interacts with Stripe. So for our profile, plus page, so server.ts. We want to do the same thing, export an actions object, get it from there, get it from the local types, and let's call this checkout session, customer portal. And we'll get some form data, probably not, we don't need to. Don't need that. We'll get the user's customer ID in a different way. We'll use the Stripe client and we'll do something different. I guess the return URL, billing portal sessions create. It is very similar. So billing portal sessions create, and all we need is the customer ID and a return URL. This will be something, and return URL is going to be this. Maybe the URL is going to be the current URL. Just URL href, return them here to the profile. And then they get a checkout session, and doesn't say what to do with that, but I guess we have to do a redirect. We can still redirect them like we did before. So this is actually a portal session. Let's call it portal session. So the question is, how do we get the customer ID? What else do we have here in the event? Do we have like locals? Yeah. Do we have Supabase? I guess in the locals we have Supabase. So in here, if from customers, let's see the RLS policy of that one. No active RLS policies. We could use the super client because it's backend only, the Supabase backend client, but I think we can just do a RLS policy for this. So use this template, the delete template, but we want it for select. If their ID is user ID, is that it? I don't remember what the table looks. Maybe here we have the migration. So the customers table here, it's called ID. So we want the auth ID to equal the ID of this table. Should be fine. So now I should be able to do Supabase from customers, select Stripe customer ID. No. Not correct. GitHub Copilot is trying to help, but not quite. No, it is correct. Stripe customer ID. Awesome. That's because we've put the types. That's TypeScript helping out because we've generated TypeScript types based on our schema, which is awesome. So const data error. if we await this query, maybe that's not going to exist. No data or error. Don't find Stripe customer ID or user. But then, if we have data, then this should be defined. If error or no data dot Stripe customer ID. And now we know that we can pass this around and it's all gonna be good. So I think this means the backend is complete. And what we want is to write our form correctly. So in the UI, profile class page.svelte, we want to encase this button in a form. The method is going to be post, but then I think the action is going to be customer portal session or something like that. Let's look at the SvelteKit logs, double check. Named actions. So yeah, I guess it's like a query parameter. So I've probably done it correctly, and when I click here, it's gonna go perfect and get into my billing portal. Let's see. We may need a loading spinner. Ta-dam! Awesome, we're in the support plan, we're paying 100 per year. So on the yearly plan, and we can update it or cancel it or whatever else. Awesome! And it renews in 1 year. So let's press cancel. Interestingly, even if I cancel, I've already prepaid this. You can see that I've customized brand colors here. This is quite cool. Let's see if they have emojis. So this will be cancelled. These were your billing details. Did something happen in our Supabase database? The subscription is still active, but now we have this cancel at period end true boolean. Interesting. So we can also show them a message saying you're going to cancel at the end of your trial period. Cool. And I guess from here I can press renew and then nothing will happen. And then when I click back, go back to wherever I was. Interesting. So from subscriptions, I did get the status, but it's a good idea to get the cancel at period end. Apparently that shows us whether they're gonna cancel. So let's get that data too. from there. It's not on a table. This action is correct. Cancel at period end. Maybe we can return this as subscription. But now the UI is gonna flip out for a bit. It's fine. We're gonna fix it. And here we can say cancel at period end. That's what should be in there. Let's say for one, see if that works. Sure. Oh, interesting. It's saying that it has everything. No, it doesn't. 9. It knows what the subscription is, but it's having like trouble auto-completing for some reason. Oh well. So maybe we also want when is the end of the period's current period end, or cancel that. Those should be the same. So let's fetch that. Our load method cancel at. We're gonna be nesting a lot here. Or maybe not. Always thinking whether it's nice to do or not. Missed slightly. Okay, it's gonna be cancelled at a different date. Let's get an apostrophe character. Only support if it's sustainable for you. All right. So I want to cancel that, but I want to format it in a human readable way. So date format. We have to double check this exists, so it won't be anything. Can be number, date, or string. New date. With a date object. See what we get. All right. 9/13/2024. That's 1 year after we bought that year subscription in the previous stream on Wednesday. So math checks out. So maybe we can put this on an else. All this. But we still have a form. Can you have a div inside a P? Probably not. But you can have it inside div. Just inline would help. Really. What am I doing? This should be the form. The form should be this. This should still be a P. Close the form, close the P tag, and then keep the inline button here. All right, looks decent. This is so long. Let's create a, not a container, I guess. Let's make this be max W pros. So if they're on a big screen, it doesn't go that long. All right. Maybe that form won't be line, but we can give it the surface 2 color. Do we have surface 3? Yeah, surface 3 with 2. Corners have a shadow mid, low. That shadow is kind of mid. All right, this is starting to look okay. Maybe give the form some margin as well. All right, I think this looks fine. Don't like the margin anymore. So I think we're good to go. I should be able to still go to the customer portal and do nothing. I should also be able to go to the customer portal and renew. So now we're still on, and we don't get the warning anymore because we are with uncancelled. Awesome. So we've done everything for this stream. It didn't take 2.5 hours or 3. It took less than an hour today. Amazing. My noodle timer stops working though, which is interesting. So we can focus on other problems, I suppose. What other problems did we discover? We're not able to freely read from the subscriptions table if we are in the users table because of the RLS policies. So I wonder if in the RLS policy you can specify that I want to check this table.id and not like the compound table, but I'm not sure. The other problem that we've had last time is that if a random user, a random visitor gets to the site and clicks to convert, they do convert, but we get a webhook error because they cannot find a signed in user, a signed up user with the email they used for Stripe. What makes this work perfectly is, so if we press this button and go through the flow, we're gonna get the subscription, they're gonna get our money, but there will be some backend troubles that I'll need to manually take care of. If they go through the login flow first, the login with GitHub or with email and password or whatever else, and then they buy, everything works correct, because in the database we can say this Stripe customer ID should correspond to this logged in user ID, But if they're not logged in, we don't have a logged in user ID or an account to match against this Stripe purchase, so things crash. There are a couple ways to resolve this. One of the ways would be to only show these buttons, only allow the people to sign up, to pay money, if they're already signed in. Only allow people to get the membership, only allow the people to subscribe if they're already logged in. This is an easier solution coding-wise, because it means when they click here, you actually get them to the login page, maybe with a message saying, you need to create an account first. Or you never saw this. But even if it's easier coding-wise, it's harder product-wise, because you introduce more steps for the visitor to go through before they give you money. And you want to minimize that. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to spend their money. However, this is a personal business. This is between you and me. So I don't want to maximize for conversion. I want to maximize for people getting what they want and being sure that they want to give money and all of that. So maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe the way is to have them go through further hoops and make sure they sign up. If I do want to maximize for conversion, then that would mean after they buy the product in Stripe, we'll need to do something on the backend for the backend to create an account for them based on the email that they have given to Stripe. They have to do this. And we could create their account and send them a magic link email, and maybe that's enough. Maybe that's good enough. We tell them to check their email and now they have an account, fewer hoops for them to jump through, all good. Not about maximizing money, it's about a better user experience. The problems with that may be, what if I don't want a magic link login? What if I want email and password? What if I want whatever? What if I want to log in with GitHub or whatever else provider we've put in here? So in that case, we may need to tell them, too bad, I've created a magic link account for you. You need to visit it or get in touch, I guess, if you want something else and resolve it that way. Those are the things I'm considering. I think for now, we'll introduce the login via magic link as a bonus feature, because that's something that I like more than username and password anyway. So let's do that and take it from there. So in this page, maybe let's do a quick commit here, because we changed a lot of stuff and I kind of liked it. So what we'll be working on next is on the login page, we have all these buttons. I think we've created a button here, button svelte, but maybe it's not a button with an icon. So let's create an icon button. Double button, I'm not sure. Okay, let's not prematurely optimize this, but we will have quite a lot of them. It's just a slot, isn't it? So what happens if I use the button we created? Shouldn't pass classes, that's fine. And we cannot pass disabled, but that can't be fixed. Having a script tag. for TypeScript, and then we'll export that disabled false undefined. And we can pass the disabled parameter here, and therefore we can pass it here. So when that happened, it happened because it's not a flex container. Let's see the other button. Flex items that justify center and gap 4. It's the extra classes here. And does it still look nice here? Yeah, still looks nice. So all good. So let's use our cool button for the login button. Big B button, no class needed. Assure consistency with this trick. And we're doing all of that because another button. Is that too many characters? Is that not enough characters? Is that clear enough? So they can fill in their email, which is definitely required. But maybe this is not required. And if they actually click get magic link, then we do a sign in with email and something else. But we need to know which button they clicked. We need to know which button they clicked. It's this element. Should we send like a data attribute? There are a couple of ways to do this once again. Login with magic link. The recommended way to do it. But we need to understand which button it is. We can get the element, so the current target is the form. But how can I tell which button it was? HTML script. Ugh. So I did think about this, but I don't quite like it. They have like on-click handlers in the buttons. And I guess it gets handled first. There must be a way to get like the instigating element. Oh well. So many stuff here. So this suggests I put an on-click here. All it's gonna do is this. The other button false. And here we will always put second for that. Else do what we were doing before. Oh. Too many variable names. So we want the email here. An object, we just need to say that it's going to be a string. State is going to be submitted. Sign in with one-time password. That's magic link. But the sign-in response is going to be check your email, I guess. And what do we do with confirmation email? All right, so it's kind of similar to create a new account here. So let's see. If I try to log in with magic link, even though I have email and password, what will happen? Invalid login credentials. What did I try to do? Did I actually try to sign in with the magic link? No, because I'm not using this method. Use it here. But it felt like it tried to log in with magic link, so I'm not convinced. It tried to log in with email and password. Did I make it here? Classic console log debugging. It may tell you of an interview like this. Yeah, we don't make it there, so we get to here. Sign in with magic link. Let's console log that. And fill in this. Magic link login is undefined. That makes sense. So this button, this on-click handler, is not actually doing anything. But I'm quite certain that I am able to figure out which button did this, right? Am I dreaming this? It's my older channel and the bigger chat. I may be able to get an answer there from you, lovely chat. Submitter, you say? There you go. The previous example may have been an example of Stack Overflow being weird, being unhelpful, outdated, dangerous. But now, I managed to do something. Let's do it here. emoji. I love it. Here. Oh, maybe not. Can I not do JavaScript? There's a TypeScript in here? Wait a minute. Okay, it looks like I cannot do TypeScript inside SvelteKit, inside the Svelte. This is kind of sad, but hey. More methods to create. Can I do extract method here? That's another question that I have. My trackback is being a bit weird. Let's get there. Okay, so refactor. It doesn't have extract, unfortunately. Should be this. All right, and now I want to say as HTML button element. And now it's happy, and now I can pass here to the form, handle submit. I don't want this. Why did I try to bring in this? All right. So button with magic link. Now I don't want to do like on-click stuff, but I want to have a value of magic. But in order to have a value, then I need to allow this value can be string or undefined. Pass it here, all good. Pass it here, and this button, don't give it anything. Why is it complaining? All right, so is it happy now? Let's try to magic link login. Something's happening. Maybe we got an email. I think the confirmation email we only saw in the other screen. Many else's. Please check your email. No. Yeah, don't like that. If confirmation email saw this, so let's try it again. Good. Let's get this all on the road. Too many emails. I did get a magic link. I did get 2 of them actually. It says follow this link to log in. I clicked and I'm logged in. No, I'm not. Because I got into the production part, because redirects to localhost, I've not allowed them for now. Maybe this will work. And I'm logged in. Great. So it seems the magic link login does work now. I do wonder, can I still log in with email and password? Yeah, awesome. This means that we're kinda closer to the forgotten password recovery area. A reset password, because resetting the password kind of works like the magic link login works. And of course, if you have forgotten your password, you can log in with magic link, you're not logged out, but it should be similar to have a button that says I want to change my password, I want to reset my password, and then you get an email, you click the link in the email and all of that. So that's great. So we didn't break email and password login, even though it may look a bit weird. Again, I'm not a designer, so I'm not sure. interesting, password is only required if you press the other button. So maybe there is a cleaner way to do this without giving the forms values. We could be binding the user email here. And then we have it for the confirmation as well. But then if they do change it, then it gets lost. We could have it in a hidden input in the other form and only have it work with this. I'm not sure what would be the better experience. Let's show what I'm thinking. Because I do think we may go that way. We have different forms. I'm not sure which is going to be more code or less, and I kind of like the emoji-based login. So I will leave it at that. You still get this. And you get invalid login credentials, so that's fair enough. Okay, I think that's good enough. So what did we do here? We did some crazy stuff, but we also did some cool stuff like abstracting away the button for consistency. This needs refactoring for readability for sure. This is the button we extracted. So we've managed to hit this bonus feature. I think this is where we're gonna leave it for today, with a login via magic link. When the question, the thing would be, if I show the handler, we have this manage subscription status change method, which checks if we have a customer with the given Stripe customer ID. This event fires in a webhook. Stripe hits it with the customer ID, and we're trying to see which of our customers has this Stripe customer ID. If we have none, then it crashes. If we have none, then it crashes. And the customer gets created at the moment only when they have a successful checkout session. So when a checkout session is completed, well, not even then. There must be something else that the Next.js repo was doing, because then the customer is never created. Let's check for customers. Yeah, we're never doing anything there. So we should be inserting a customer record at some point. And the way the Next.js thing is doing it, I imagine is when they have a completed checkout session. I'm not sure. So let's look for insert. So here, when do they do it? Create or retrieve customer. Create or retrieve customer. They do it when they create a customer session. I see. But they need the logged in user to do that. So before they're able to click the button, they need to be logged in, is what we were saying before. Well, now we kind of want them to be able to click the button even if they're not logged in, and go through the session, and then we create the customer. But what are they doing with the customer here? I'm not sure. We can make the user become the customer at that point. I'm sighing for no real reason. It seems like I want to get my thoughts in order. So we don't. We do want map the logged in user to a customer. When they've had a successful checkout session. Should be easy. All right, let's do it. Let's do it today. I'm feeling it. Let's get that Next.js stuff out of here. So the situation is, we hit this manage subscription status chains, and if there is no customer, then things blow up, but that shouldn't be the case. We should create a new customer here. We're gonna use our Supabase admin client. Gonna be a no user error, and await Supabase admin from users. Select ID equaling email. I'm going to use math because I like that more. Email we don't have the email at this point. We do have it, we don't have it in this method. Let's just give it the Stripe subscription ID. Get the email. So we'll need our method to have that. It should have single or none. And then if no user error, then we should create our user somehow. So here, the user ID becomes the customer data ID, if that exists, or becomes this. So we can double check. Non-customer data or customer error, and you do this, or else user ID becomes the customer data ID, but maybe we should do it the other way around. I kind of like negative cases first. But this is an exception. There is so many things that we need to do. If that's the case, it's not really an early out. Else we have to do all of that. So if we have a user data and no user error, then user data user ID becomes user data ID. Else we need to do some stuff. We are handling this. So else we need to create the user. So admin sign up with auth. Sign up with one-time password, and then the email is going to be something. And it's going to be this. And then we use it here. And what do we get with the response? Do we get like the user ID or something? It doesn't give us the user ID. Oh no. That's unfortunate. I would want this to give us the user ID because they must create one. They must. I guess they must not. Should create user. It does create the user. Then we can do like metadata or whatever. counselor. All right, so this should create the user for us. And if the user is created, then I can try to do the same thing. Sorry about this handler anymore. It's utility method. It's not via email. Anyway, if user taking this. If all right, so we create a user here, and if we have created the user, then we should be able to get them from the database. Something funky going on with my GitHub Copilot. Sometimes it doesn't play well. Anyway, if that's the case, then the user ID is the new user ID. Whew. And create user for this email. All good. All right, so we have all this crazy logic, and we still have to see how we can find the email of the user. So we have the Stripe subscription ID, the customer ID. It needs new subscription. Where do we use this? This will have a second parameter, final parameter, email. But let's see where we call this method. Call it in two places. And I imagine oof. I need to go to the Stripe dashboard. Like a test dashboard. So let's see this very first checkout session completed. Must be an email somewhere. Customer details. But customer email is empty. So it's only the checkout session completed that has the email. That's problematic. Whoops. This thing has the email. This thing has the email. So in here, maybe we can find the email here. Huh. It is quite complicated. This is the thing that makes you want to just have them be logged in already. Maybe this exists. Let's use it, I suppose. And here we can say that it's string or undefined. So if no customer email, yeah, if we don't have the email at this point, abort. If we do have the email, then we can check if they have an account with us already. We get the user via email. Okay, just hold this email. If we find the user with that email, we just use that user ID. If not, we attempt to create a user and then they get a message to sign in. It should be fair enough. And then we do all of this crazy stuff. And then if it's new subscription, we create the billing details. But why would we keep the billing details in our database is what I want to know. Feels like something that can get us in trouble. I don't think we'll be doing that. I think we'll be migrating away for that. Like my users, I don't need a billing address or a payment method and all that. So yeah, let's review what we've just done. See if it makes any sense at all. Kind of makes sense. Isn't this an optional parameter? Just make it null then. For null. So this should be happy. We updated this method to use the email from the webhook to attempt to create the customer. If they cannot do it. Instead of just crashing, it makes this valiant attempt. And there are a couple cases where it will still error out, but there is a case where it will send an email, it will create an account for the user with the email in the Stripe payload, and then they will get an email that they have to click to confirm their account. I'll be checking if that actually works behind the scenes, and we'll update you all in the next episode, which is going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. In the meantime, I'm hoping to have a video out, a much shorter video, maybe 10-11 minutes, about doing this transition. Fancy sliding transition that looks even better when you see it in real life. So make sure to click on the project and check out the real website. I will publish these brands. I will give a few moments for the chat to say anything if they'd like. Otherwise, we're calling it a stream. Hope you had a great time. We flew through our initial agenda, I think. Maybe we talked a bit too much here with the UI, but when we got to the server stuff, it was like, bang, we did it. The customer portal integration stuff was quite breezy, pleasant as well. I like the weather now, which is still raining, not as heavily as it was a moment ago, but quite a lot. All right, I think this is it. Once again, it was a pleasure to live code in front of everyone. I hope you find this useful and entertaining, enjoyable. Maybe you're listening to me talk and seeing me code as you're coding yourself. That's always pleasurable. Next time, maybe tell me what you're working on, what you'd like to see me tackle, even though for sure we're gonna be taking this all the way. But I always have time or make time to make short videos of different subjects. So give me inspiration for those as well. Again, we will have one on how I did this transition. Spoiler alert is using the new experimental view transitions API that everyone is excited about. So I hope you are too, or the video will get you excited for it. This will be it for today. Hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll see you around.